All right, guys. So today is Thursday, June 26th, and just wanted to go over some of the setups that I took today, explain them, kind of break them down to you guys so you can understand because it was a banger. There was lots of good setups. I was really hesitant to on the first couple to follow through. I would just get in the trade as soon as they start to move up. I'd move up to break even, where I would usually let it run a little longer, but just because the past 2 days were kind of rough, had that hesitation. So I'll kind of walk you through those, and show you what we're working with here. So pretty much, what I seen here is that we had a fair value gap right here, right? You see this gap right here, that's considered a fair value gap. We had this nice touch in here where with a inversion that pushed into it, got inverted, and then that one was respected. And both times that gap was that inversion was respected, we had a push higher here and a push higher here, which eventually took out that high right there. So I knew later in the day at some point we were probably going to return back to this one right here, right where this blue line is. You see that little space between the wicks right there? That's what I would call a breakaway fair value gap, because we had two in a row. This one was tested, and respected, and there was also that inversion that led into it. So that's a bunch of confluence to me that there is a shit ton of liquidity in this area. So I wanted to see it come back to this level later in the day, and rip off of it, which it did. So I'm gonna zoom out here, and I mean this was a like textbook entry right here. So I mean you see it wicked in and immediately pushed out. We got a beautiful 3-to-1 trade on this. So I think I risked about $400 on this trade. It was like $400 and I made $1,200. So, and we were in, I trade the 5 second chart. So we got in at 11:30:10 was that wick in, and 11:31:30 is where we got out. So within a minute and 20 seconds, we made $1,300. So I'm pretty happy about that trade. Now I want to go into some of the trades in between that one. You'll see my entries that I have set up here, and these were all beautiful winning trades. I just did not have the I guess I didn't have the balls today to hold them when I typically would. So what I typically look for, right, is I look for a fair value gap that gets wicked and just barely pushes lower, and then the same thing, we get our inversion that comes into it and just gets ran through, and pushes below that recent high. When I see that, I typically will take this entry here. Now, the only thing about this one that I didn't love is that there wasn't a nice fair value gap below this level here, which we ended up getting over here on this leg here. If you see, we had, if this was the level, we have some gaps here, and then we continue lower here. So that also tells me, hey, I could have came in here and took an entry here, but I ended up just taking it initially. As soon as it pushed down, I moved to break even. Didn't happen, so we moved on from that. This one here was the same thing. This was a retest on that inversion, for the original setup in the day, and we came in, we pushed right here. You'll see where I got in. I got in right here, and as soon as that green candle wicked up, I moved my my stop loss to break even, and price came back down, took it out. So again, I just let that one play out. I was like, you know what, it is what it is. Just because of the past 2 days, I was not willing to risk more than I usually would. My next trade actually played out beautifully. So we came back to this inversion gap and we got a push above it. Now, you can't, I should rephrase that. You can, but what I typically will wait for is a push above, but there has to be a gap that was respected, and we got it right here. So a lot of people would just see this and take it and go, okay, yeah, I'm going to get in here, right, and try to ride it. but they would have got smoked right here on this leg down. So what I was waiting for was a manipulation below it, and then we get a fair value gap above it, and this wicks into it right here, pushes higher. That tells me, all right, price is ready to go. And I actually missed the original entry, but once I seen this, I said, all right, I'm gonna set it on the top and let it ride. And we got another nice. I did 2.89 on this one, because a lot of times what I notice is a lot of people aim for 3, but on ones where I'm a little more cautious, I will do 2.9, just because the market a lot of times will stop just before 3, and I want to make sure my order's filled. And then obviously that gave me a little bit of profit on the day. I think that was like a $600 trade there. And then we had our big run here that came down and just perfectly touched that and ran. I mean, you see, I could have rode this out a lot longer, but my thing is I'm looking for the highest probability of trade. So when I see that, I know if 15, 16 points should be like a no-brainer of a bounce, and that's where you can see right here that initial bounce. This one right here, when it goes, touches it, and then it just goes straight up. That's all. I'm looking to capture that because that's like almost guaranteed money. Now, I could have had a runner, and this could have been a huge trade. I mean, typically you could target this high up here, and that would have been a 11 to 1 risk to reward. So that means, gosh, what if I was risking 4? It would have been like a $5,000 trade. But again, I'm looking for the highest probability, because ultimately the thing is I could say, all right, that's a $5,000 trade I just missed, but I want to, at the end of the week, be making money, because that easily could have just bounced up and ran down through, and then I just lost the $1,300 that I could have made. But I did make it, and it's a good day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Might start making more videos like this. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you want me to do that, and have a good one.